Hi everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Mike.
So Mike, do you like action movies?
Ooh,
bit of fighting, bit of racing, bit of chasing?
I do like some racing, chasing, punching, throwing, flinging, and setting people on fire.
Oh wow, can you think of any really memorable stunts?
Actually, I was just talking about Mad Max Fury Road to my friend the other day, and we were both saying that movie is basically just all stunts.
All stunt, okay.
And from what I know, a lot of it was real stuntmen, not computers, not CGI.
Excellent. That's always
And I thought, that was a really good example of a fairly new movie that if you want to see the art of stunt work, watch that film and you'll be quite impressed and maybe think twice about becoming a stuntman.
Yeah, one that I will never forget is, I forget which Jackie Chan movie it was. It's Operation...
How many bones did he break?
Oh, like all of them.
Oh,
But it's the one where part of it's in the Netherlands. I think it might be the end of First Strike. And he jumps off the side of a slightly kind of slanted building and just falls all the way down this slope.
God. He is probably one of the greatest stuntmen who also is an actor.
Yes.
A lot of stuntmen.
And now a dramatic actor.
That's right. A lot of stuntmen, we don't know their names, but he is a big star and he's famous for doing a lot of his own stunts.
Right. And we'll meet a few actors who do that later in our article. So let's read through and find out all about stunt performers.
Are we going to light each other on fire?
If you want.
No.
Reading.
The Stunt Performer, a life more exciting than the movies. You're watching an exciting action movie starring your favorite actor. He's on the roof of a burning building and his clothes are in flames. He must jump across the lane below and tumble onto the roof of a building a few stories down. In real life, your hero might die or at least break a few bones, but on screen he carries on as if he's barely hurt. This is why such dangerous scenes are performed by professional stunt actors. They've spent years studying how to perform these tricks while wearing special gear to prevent injuries. Not all stunt actors follow the same path into this career. It requires luck and discipline. Here are some general tips. For one thing, you should live in a place with a thriving movie industry like Hollywood. Try to meet others who do the same work, perhaps at the gym. Also, take lessons from former stunt actors who now work as professional coaches. If they like you, they can help you make good contacts in the industry. Have good manners and be patient as well. Setting up stunts is difficult work for a film crew. Dealing with a crabby stunt actor makes everyone lose focus when they're trying to put safety first.
So the movie starts by saying you're watching an exciting action movie starring your favorite actor.
Wow.
Fairly common occurrence.
Yeah, this would be great to watch an exciting action movie starring Morgan Freeman.
That'll work.
He's a little old,
now,
but maybe he's not my favorite actor. I'm just picking someone you wouldn't expect to see in an action movie, but here's something you would expect to see in an action movie. So there's our favorite actor, and next we read, he's on the roof of a burning building and his clothes are in flames. Oh my gosh, this does sound like a lot of action movies. So there's the actor. He's on top of a building, on the roof of the building. The building is on fire and his clothes are also on fire. The burning building, the clothes are in flames. That basically, both of those descriptions mean that these things are on fire. But yeah, we use that word flame to talk about someone being in flames. Well, what is a flame? It's a noun. Basically, a flame is a piece of fire, a single little flicker of fire. The easiest way to think about this is to listen to our example sentence. A single flame rose from the candle. Yeah,
right.
All right, candle. That little bit on the top of the candle, that would be a flame. Now, if you have a big fire, you'd have lots of flames kind of all happening at the same time. So we can talk about in flames, on fire, or just one flame would be maybe a candle or a match or something like that.
Exactly. So our action hero we see in the article, he must jump across the lane below and tumble onto the roof of a building a few stories down.
While he's still on fire?
Exactly. The next building, therefore, it's a bit lower and he's got to jump, and as he jumps, he will tumble.
No problem.
Now, to tumble means to fall, but we can use it in a couple of ways. You can tumble like, fall down the stairs kind of tumble, just slip over, trip over something.
Sure.
But professional people know how to tumble in a way that means they don't get hurt.
Right.
They'll kind of put in a forward roll, they'll use certain parts of their body and distribute the weight as they land. So we often use tumbling to describe what kind of acrobats and people like that do. They fall in a controlled, safe way that doesn't hurt so much. But tumble here can just mean to fall, as in our example sentence. Janice wasn't looking where she was going, and she tumbled down the stairs.
Ouch. Maybe it was a stunt. Maybe it was a
stunt.
Oh
yeah, a stunt person might have to fall downstairs all the time. That's a pretty common stunt.
There you go. And if you know how to tumble as a stunt person, you can save yourself getting hurt. So that would be a good idea. All right, now let's see. Of course, this is a movie, but let's talk about if it wasn't a movie. It says, in real life, your hero might die. Or at least break a few bones and probably be badly burned as well. Sure, if a normal person jumps off a building, please don't do that, because a normal person would get very badly hurt or could also die, possibly.
That's right, but as the article says, on screen, he carries on as if he's barely hurt.
But he's still on fire.
So the phrase as if is a conjunction. It's used to say how something seems to be from the information known. It's a more formal way of saying like, and is used in the same way as though. For example, we can say, you look as if you've seen a ghost. So as if is often used to describe someone's behavior or the way someone's acting. For example, stop acting as if you're the boss. Okay, so the guy looks as though he's not hurt at all, even though he's done this big jumping off the building on fire sequence of actions.
And remember, it is a movie. That's the important part. And that's also why we read, this is why such dangerous scenes are performed by professional stunt actors. Yeah, a scene is part of a movie. Movies are made up of different scenes. This stunt scene or an action scene would have a lot of professional stunt actors in it doing the dangerous stuff. And we know that these people are doing it as a job and not just because they're crazy, because they're described as professional. If you're a professional, this adjective means you're doing something as a job. You're doing it as your work. You're doing it for pay. The opposite would be a word amateur, A-M-A-T-E-U-R. That means it's more of a hobby, it's more of a pastime, it's something you do for fun. Now, this is an interesting word. We use it to talk about jobs that could be a hobby and might be a hobby for many people. A professional musician plays music, guitar, whatever, but it's their job. A lot of people play music for fun in their free time as a hobby, but a professional musician would do it as a job. Now, there are other jobs that are only jobs, so you don't have to say, oh, he's a professional doctor. There's no such thing as a doctor who just does it as a hobby. That would be very dangerous. So you don't have to say a professional lawyer.
No.
Because lawyer, that's a job. But for those things that could be a job or could just be a hobby, adding professional shows that it's their job and probably they do it quite well.
Exactly. As we see in the article, so these professional stunt actors, they've spent years studying how to perform these tricks while wearing special gear to prevent injuries. Gear means any kind of equipment. It could also include professional clothing. So for stuntmen, that could be the wires they're having to keep them up, the jackets they wear, all the other stuff they land on. Exactly.
Pads on their knees and elbows.
That's all gear. It's all the stuff you need to do a particular activity. And that prevents injury.
That's right. They're doing dangerous stuff, so the gear stops them from getting injuries. Injury, this is a noun, and it basically means when you hurt your body. What have you hurt? Well, it depends. It could be your arm or your leg, but if you've hurt it, it is an injury, all right? Physical damage to your body, to a living thing. We wouldn't use this about scratching your car or putting a knock in your bicycle or something like that. That would be damage, okay? Damage is more for a thing. Injury is more for a living animal, a living human, or, animals, right, can get injuries too. So yeah, they wear all this equipment and they do all this training so they don't get hurt, so they don't get an injury. For example, my favorite soccer player got an injury in the last game.
It happens.
I know. Or I could also use the verb form, he was injured.
Yes,
to
that's
hurt your
right.
body is to injure yourself. That thing that hurts, that place you hurt it, that is your injury.
Okay, so let's learn more about stunt actors.
Okay.
The article says not all stunt actors follow the same path into this career. So some might become stunt actors through one way, some another way, some maybe advertise, some just get involved.
Okay.
Something like that, whatever they get into their career. A career is the job a person does, and it's usually used to talk about the thing a person does for most of their lives, and which has opportunities to develop and progress and work on different projects, all as part of that same job.
There you go.
Okay, so what if I wanted to become a stunt person?
Well, it requires a few things, and one of them might be easier to find than the other. It says it requires, being a professional stunt performer, it requires luck and discipline. If you want to have a career as a stunt person, you'll need some luck and you'll need some discipline. So we just mentioned that to be a stunt performer, you'll need some luck and discipline. Luck, because often to become well-known or successful in show business, you do need some luck. You need to be at the right place at the right time, meet the right people, get in that movie, get noticed, that kind of thing. That's often down to luck. But you can help yourself with determination and discipline. Discipline, this noun, basically is kind of like determination. It's focusing on something and doing it until it's finished, until you are successful, until you reach your goal. It's tough to find discipline sometimes. You might wake up someday and go, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and you go to the gym that day. Good for you. But then you have to go the next day and the next and the next. And even when it's raining and you're tired and you're in a bad mood, forcing yourself to do things like that shows that you have discipline. Not quitting, not skipping, not making excuses, sticking to it even when it's difficult. That's what discipline will allow you to do. For example, it takes a lot of discipline to learn a new language quickly. Yeah, you can do it. You can move to Japan and only speak Japanese, and in about 6 months, you'll probably be pretty good, but that's it. You won't be able to speak your native language. You'll have to speak Japanese all the time, study in your free time. That would take a lot of discipline.
So you need a bit of luck, you need a bit of discipline, and you also need a
good
few...
doctor.
Yeah, you will if you're a stunt person.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And as the article says, here are some general tips. So what you can do to make a career as a stunt person.
All right, so all you stunt people in training, take notes. What are some general tips, some good advice? It says, for one thing, you should live in a place with a thriving movie industry, like Hollywood.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, if you want to be a stunt person in the movies, go where they make movies. And we're not talking about 1 or 2 movies a year. We're talking about lots of movies. A place with a thriving movie industry. As we mentioned there, thriving, this adjective, basically means it's growing, it's doing really well, it's having a lot of success, and the future looks really, really good. All right, so if we're talking about a thriving movie industry, well, Hollywood obviously would be one place. Bollywood,
yes,
you could go do stunts in Indian movies.
I'm going to throw in Vancouver because
Vancouver,
of the
Canada.
TV. It's not just movies. TV needs stuntmen, especially these days.
That's right.
And Vancouver's got a big TV industry.
That's right. They make a lot of films in Vancouver, in Canada, or Nollywood. The Nigerian movie industry is getting bigger and bigger too. So go to those places. I'm not sure if you live in Elan. How many movies do they make there every year? Probably not that many. Yeah. So go where the movies are being made. That's a good tip.
Next tip, try to meet others who do the same work, perhaps at the gym. Now we've mentioned the gym there because you need to be pretty tough, you need to be strong, you need to be fit. So if you go to the gym, get to know people, you might learn, hey, the stunt guys go here, you can talk to them, you can maybe approach somebody and say, hey, I want to give it a shot.
There you
what
go.
Have you got for me?
We talked about having a little bit of luck and meeting the right person at the gym. That's the kind of luck that you might need to get into the business. Also, here's a good tip. Take lessons from former stunt actors who now work as professional coaches.
Ooh,
they actually do have stunt school. Not at your average university, but if you go to a place where they make a lot of films, like California, you can probably find retired stunt people or stunt people who want to share their secrets. It will probably cost you some money, but they'll give you tips on how to fall safely and do all the different fighting stuff and that kind of thing, so your skill level will go up, and that can help you too.
Yeah, we mentioned professional coaches. So again, using Mike's words earlier, that's a coach who does it for their job. They are make a career out of training other stuntmen.
So you'll have to pay.
Exactly. Yes. The article continues. If they like you, so the coach presumably, or maybe other stunt people, if they like you, they can help you make good contacts in the industry. So all of these people we're talking about, coaches or the stuntmen, former stuntmen or whatever, these are your contacts. A contact is a connection. It's someone you know, someone you could call or email, you have their details, and you could maybe get information from them, get help from them, often in a professional kind of way. For example, you could say, I don't have many contacts in that city, but I'll ask my friends if they have some. So maybe you want to visit somewhere, you want someone to show you around. If you have a contact, you call them and say, hey, show me around.
That's right.
If not, you see if your friends have contacts, and then they kind of become your contacts.
Absolutely, and that's another great thing that we use Facebook and stuff like that for. Keep track of contacts and maybe expand our circle of contacts, meet more people. Another thing, it says have good manners and be patient as well. Good advice for a lot of life, but yes, don't walk in and say, I'm the greatest stuntman in the world, everyone out of my way. No, you need to have good manners, you need to be polite and work well with people.
And there's a reason for this. The article says setting up stunts, which is the difficult stuff, the action stuff, setting up stunts is difficult work for a film crew.
True.
Yeah, now setting up, this means to do all the preparation for something, all the things you need to do first before that thing can happen. And now often when we use set up, we mean physically. So putting things in place, having a practice, getting all that gear we talked about earlier, doing all of that hard work. So that can be difficult for a film crew.
Absolutely. Working on a film set, you do need a lot of patience. So in that last sentence, we were talking about how it often takes the crew a long time to set up new shots. Now, when we use crew in this way, we're talking about the workers on the film set, the people who make the film. There's a lot of different jobs, and we don't want to list them out. It takes a long time for the lighting people to set up the lights, and the camera people to move the camera, and the costume people to get the... No, we just say the crew. We're talking about all those different jobs, all those different people, because a crew is a group of workers, often with different jobs or different skills, but they're working together on one kind of project or one kind of job. If we're talking about a boat, we can talk about the crew of the boat, the captain right down to the sailor, the cook, the person who works with the engines, the person who's on the radio. All of those people would be the crew of the boat. We just don't want to list out their special jobs. They're working together with different skills, different jobs, but doing one thing. For example, the flight crew usually gets on the plane half an hour before the passengers do. The flight crew would be the pilots and the people up front who fly the plane, and the people in the back who serve you drinks. Together, they are the flight crew.
So why do we need to be polite and patient and all of that when this is happening? Well, the article says dealing with a crabby stunt actor makes everyone lose focus when they're trying to put safety first. Now, we had a good word in there, crabby.
Crabby.
That's a very descriptive adjective, maybe one you don't see too often.
I see it all the time.
You are crabby all the time.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, a crabby person, they're angry, they're grumpy, they're a bit bad-tempered.
Back off.
They get annoyed easily.
Stop it, I told you. Go.
We sort of say crabs are like this because if you poke a crab, it'll grab you with it.
True.
But yeah, a crabby person is not very nice to be around. They're never happy. They are very quick to just go like, get away, leave me alone, do your job, something like that. You might feel crabby some days if you don't get enough sleep,
yes,
you don't get enough coffee,
yes,
or something like that. So we don't want a crabby person distracting everyone, dealing with them, while they should be figuring out all the gear, all the equipment, and keeping things safe. Okay, we're going to learn a bit more about some actors who have done their own stunts and things like that tomorrow, but right now, let's go to today's For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So the question is, what kind of person do you think makes a good stunt actor? What kind of qualities, as well as the ones we've mentioned, would they need?
Interesting question. Well, obviously, the first thing I would think was a well-trained person. Someone who's practiced these stunts a lot would be a good stunt actor. They're more likely to do them well and not get hurt. But here we're kind of talking more about their personality, right?
Yes.
Anyone can learn it. I don't know, someone who likes adventure, someone who likes challenges.
Kind of got to be quite brave.
Quite brave. Someone who likes to do different things all the time because, you know, as a stunt performer, you might be doing different things on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday.
I think you've also got to be fairly patient because you might have to do that same stunt again and again and again. And you've got to do it just as well the fifth time as you did the first time.
That's right.
So you've really got to and you've also got to have a lot of respect for the overall movie business. And I think you probably also need to be a little bit humble about what you do because you're just one part of a big overall movie. So equally, you don't want to kind of think you're the boss, but you've got to do your hardest work because even if you're only on screen for that 1 second, you've got to make that second super believable.
Absolutely.
So that viewers will go, I know it's a stunt actor in my head, but I believe that was real.
That's right. And I would also add to that, you need to be good at the little details.
Right.
Because it's about safety first. And if you can't focus on the details, if you're like, oh, just let me do it, it'll be fine, that's when accidents happen and people get hurt. So you got to do all this stuff, do it well, and also look like the star while you're doing it.
Some of them, if they've got personal stuntmen, they need to be able, or women, they need to be able to really work with the actor and communicate some of the actor's own acting into their stunts.
So you need some acting skill as well.
Yeah, and you've got to be good with people really because you will be working with people, the crew, the actors all the time. So yeah, you've got to be a kind of good-natured, friendly person. Okay, well that is the end of day one. Join us again tomorrow to learn more about stunt actors. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Take care.
The Stunt Performer. A life more exciting than the movies. You're watching an exciting action movie starring your favorite actor. He's on the roof of a burning building and his clothes are in flames. He must jump across the lane below and tumble onto the roof of a building a few stories down. In real life, your hero might die or at least break a few bones, but on screen he carries on as if he's barely hurt. This is why such dangerous scenes are performed by professional stunt actors. They've spent years studying how to perform these tricks while wearing special gear to prevent injuries. Not all stunt actors follow the same path into this career. It requires luck and discipline. Here are some general tips. For one thing, you should live in a place with a thriving movie industry like Hollywood. Try to meet others who do the same work, perhaps at the gym. Also, take lessons from former stunt actors who now work as professional coaches. If they like you, they can help you make good contacts in the industry. Have good manners and be patient as well. Setting up stunts is difficult work for a film crew. Dealing with a crabby stunt actor makes everyone lose focus when they're trying to put safety first.
Vocabulary Review.
Flame. Jason ran through the hot flames of the burning house in order to save his cat. Tumble. Monica tripped on a toy and tumbled down the stairs. Injury. George broke his leg and went to the hospital to have the injury treated by a doctor. Discipline. Kathy caused problems in school because she didn't have the discipline to sit still when she was bored. Contact. Albert succeeded at his sales job because he had a lot of contacts who helped him find clients. Crew. The TV station sent a news crew to the scene of a deadly train crash.
智慧小补帖
Professional. Gear. Career. Thriving. Crabbie.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net